it's our honor to be part of this evening, to put together this evening, not only because of the beautiful ribbon cutting ceremony that we're going to have, and give it up for the tiny home. Come on. And that, Carl, can you wave? Can you wave? That's Carl. And Matt, can you wave? That's Matt. So Carl is the chairman of the carpentry department, and Matt's class built this, all everyone. So they're going to tell us a little bit about the tiny home and where they're going to donate it to. And I just want to say welcome, thank you. There's Allie, she's very shy. Allie is the CTE dean, so she is the big boss over all of us here. And a lot of people that we're thankful to be here. We got, Oakland Workforce Development Board. Alameda is on the way, right? I guess traffic, and Lao family is here. Thank you, and City of Oakland's here. OUSD's here, and wonderful companies such as Tarani and Akash and Penumbra and Livermore Labs and some other company. Who else is here? Raise your hand. All right. Oh, yes. And look, and also we have a ACE CTE street team here to answer all your questions. And some of them are actually interns through Lao, so we thank Lao for the internship. I'm going to, would you like, you're good or you? Okay. And then
welcome all. Welcome to Laney College. My name is Alejandra Tomas. Please call me Ali. I'm the Dean of Career and Technical Education at Laney College. I just wanted to say that this tiny home project is a true testament that at Laney College, we provide a holistic learning experience for our students, right? In this project, students were able to learn technical skills that they would need to be able to work in the workforce. We taught them how to work collaboratively in a team, and we also taught them the value of bringing back to your community. So I'm sure there's a lot of work that came to this project, and I'll let President Besikov say that, but for this event, I just wanted to say thank you to Raya Zion for bringing us all together here. We wouldn't be here today if it weren't for Raya. So thank you, Raya, for that. But President Besikov, you wanted to say a little bit about the project and say our thank yous to all who've worked hard for this project.
Thank you, Dean Tomas, and good evening and welcome everyone to Laney College. So glad to have you here and just to welcome you into our community. And as part of Manufacturing Week, it truly is my pleasure to be welcoming you to our tiny home ribbon cutting ceremony that's been put on by the Laney College Carpentry Department and supported by so many colleagues here at Laney. If you are not part of the carpentry department at Laney, but a Laney colleague, go ahead and raise your hand a second and be recognized. Yeah, this is, we all come out and support each other, and it's great, and it's just great to see so many of us. I certainly would like to send a special thank you to all of our carpentry faculty under the leadership of Professors Carl Seelbach and Matthew Wolpe. Let's give it up for them. But you know what, tonight I want to go ahead and give it up for our students as well. But before I say that, I'm going to go off my script a second. You all have to go inside and check these out. They're really amazing. It's unbelievable, just the innovation that you will see in there, the craftsmanship, and just the incredible work as it relates to space utilization, and just a lot of stuff that pushes the envelope. And I think it's amazing. And I want to give a hand to these students who have taken part in 3 or 4 semesters of carpentry. And thank you to those students who gave me a tour today and showed me around, which is great. So as part of the introductions also involves acknowledging our leadership from the district, specifically members of our Board of Trustees when they come out, and I would like to recognize Board Member and Vice President Louis Quinlan, who's with us today. I also know that we certainly have a number of other partners, and I just want to take time to appreciate those, and I'll be naming them in a few minutes. But as part of the actual coursework or curriculum, Laney's carpentry program has been doing its own part on behalf of our great college to address housing insecurity by designing and building energy efficient 200 square feet tiny homes for our communities. In fact, before coming to Laney College, one of the first things I heard about from Southern California about Laney, in fact, was the Tiny Homes Project, and it's something that really we're proud of as a program of distinction. And also, as you look around our campus, how many of you are new to Laney? How many maybe haven't been here before, maybe first, second time, don't quite know the area? Well, what you're in right now is truly the hub for the building trades. Over here is our carpentry space. We also have wood technology, machine technology. Welding is over there. I saw Professor Sapo Su here somewhere. Our HVAC program is located over there, as well as our electricity program. And then if you go upstairs as well, there's construction management. Did I miss anything?
Architecture.
Oh, and architecture is up there. Architecture, and then we also have our amazing culinary program. Yes, that's there as well. And by the way, we have an amazing bistro that's open for dinner on Thursday nights, and you're encouraged to stop by and Wednesday and Thursday, thank you, yeah, which is excellent. I figured they'd want to come back tomorrow night. That's where my focus was, yeah. So anyway, so the current tiny homes you see will actually be delivered to the Shelterwood Project, which is a BIPOC, disabled, and queer-led community forest and retreat center, healing people and communities through active stewardship and community engagement. So many times our students, alumni, and employees do great things, and I'm pleased to share this evening that the Shelterwood Collective is actually co-founded by Lael Camargo, a former Laney College student and alum, which is pretty cool. So anyway, this is a great event tonight. I'll just say a couple more things and then get out of the way. But at the conclusion of the ribbon cutting, we certainly invite all of you to the advanced manufacturing discussion taking place in the Laney College Forum across the way. And you will also have opportunities to tour some of the trade shops that I mentioned tonight. I would certainly like to thank our partners here, the City of Oakland, the Oakland Workforce Board, the Alameda County Workforce Development Board, SME Silicon Valley, Chapter 98, the Association of Manufacturers Bay Area, and of course, again, our great CTE faculty, staff, and administrative leadership here. Also, concerning the program and the discussion that's taking place, I would like to extend thanks to those sponsoring today's event, especially those here with us today, that include Tarani, Ghirardelli, Akash Systems, and Penumbra. Let's give them a hand. So in closing, I would just like to say, oh yes, yes please. And Livermore Labs, are they here? Excellent, yeah, kudos to them as well.
Did we forget anyone? We're good?
We're good? Okay. All right. Well, but anyway, in closing, I'd just like to say welcome to everybody and kudos to our students and our faculty on this amazing project. Thank you.
I would just like to call in our department chair, Carl Seelbach, to talk about the project a little bit.
Greetings and welcome. This is really, really what it's all about, right? Community engagement. And I'm so thrilled to see everyone here in all factions of Laney and to see 3 or 4 of the top brass in a tiny home at once. I wish we had an interior camera. That was really, really inspiring. So I just really want to give it up, and I'm going to do a little background of really the pioneer of this project and pretty much the last 5 or 6 of these tiny homes. I think we're up to 7 or 8. 7. And if you've seen the Netflix documentary Last Place You, anybody? If you haven't, you might recall that some of the students from that were highlighted in that documentary were housed in a Laney-built tiny house over at the, and I forgive me, but the Baptist church just down the way here. If anybody knows that, please, I'd love to give them a shout out. But it was really, really cool for just a moment on Netflix to see a project that we took on. But Matt has been with us now. He's just finishing up his tenure review, but he was long before he even got hired. He was working long and hard on these projects. The project starts with a trailer. And I want to just thank our admin, Dean Tomas, who came up to me and say, we have X number of dollars unspent, can you spend it? And I said, hell yeah. So we purchased 2 trailers knowing that we would find the community members that would jump on the tiny house. So who took it upon them to grab those trailers, drive 3 hours, because there's only one in the state of California that really does these customized trailer? Matt. And I said, and I told him, I go, thank you very much, but you'll learn that delegation is the key to success, and that we had money to pay to have someone pick it up, but no, he is a driven instructor. It's such a privilege to work with him. Like I said, he's not only picked up the trailers, but he worked with the students designing them. He's, gone the extra yards, because if any of you have done a project, yeah, it's student built, but it takes an incredible amount of time, management, and support, picking up stuff, making sure stuff's ready, seeing the design through, and he's probably averaged a full work week outside of his teaching responsibilities. So I just really wanted to embarrass him, because without this wouldn't happen, okay? So I'm gonna let him take it from here, now that I've totally turned him colors. But I just wanted to introduce you to Matt Wolpe, my colleague and comrade in carpentry. Matt?
All right, thank you, Carl. Yeah, I'm mostly appreciative to Carl and Allie, and especially the students. Every single element of this house was built by students, with students. So the framing, the siding, the roofing, the finish work, and the furniture and cabinetry, all that was done in-house by Laney students. And so we've done, as Carl said, 7 tiny houses now. So it's nice to, people come in and they hear about the tiny house program. And as of 2 years ago, actually, tiny houses became legal to live in Oakland. So they're part of the housing solution here. And so Laney, being a leader in that area, feels really good. But for the most part, it's just a pleasure working with the students and their commitment to the project, and working, having a client for the project be a former carpentry student has also just been a really beautiful story. So I'm excited to see this go out into the world. It's open for people to look through, and thank you all. I'm going to introduce one student, Venetia Connolly. All right.
Good evening. My name is Venetia Connolly, and I have been going to Laney for probably the last 18 months. 2 semesters ago, I got into beginning carpentry, and I was so ecstatic when the instructor said we were building a tiny home, because that's what I want to do. I want to build a tiny home and get on the road, and I've seen so many programs about it. I'm blessed to have been part of this project. All right, thank you.
And now, the ribbon cutting. Who's going up? And wait, come here. What is your name?
Hi, my name is Lisa.
And tell us, how did you start the program, or why? Come on.
So,
Get closer. Yeah, it's okay.
Well, so I actually am a recent graduate. I have a background in microbiology, but after I graduated, I wanted to take some time off to build, because it's something I've always wanted to do. And I started actually working with Habitat for Humanity, but I wanted, after doing that for a few months, I wanted a little more structure, and I came here, and I've gotten more than I ever thought I would, and so it's been a fantastic semester.
And one of our community partners, La Family, is very involved in housing the unsheltered. And Mike Quatch there wants to know, how long did it take you guys to build the tiny home? 3 semesters. 3 semesters. Okay, 3 semesters. Thank you. All right, well, thank you very much for the ribbon cutting, and now, oh, Rudy, come around, Rudy, come around. Go ahead.
All right, but before we transition, I also want to just say hello to some of the partners I did not recognize, OUSD, as well as Lao Family. But you know what? One person that I need to apologize, really give it up for, is our Employment Service Specialist, Raya Zion. Great job.
Thank you. And now for food. If everyone, I think Kim Gonzalez and the CTE street team kind of put balloons along the path to the forum. And if you would follow there, we have refreshments and, you know, go eat something. And then we're going to have a panel. Oh, wait, what's going on? Oh, you know what? Good idea. Come here. Do you want to say it? Or?
Yeah. So please take this time to help yourself to check out the tiny home. And if you have any questions about the program or any program at Laney, we're here. So I think that's why a lot of us are here. We like to share our experience. Our students, if you want to talk to them, are available. So I just say thank you so much for coming, especially our esteemed board trustee, who also happened to be on my tenure review committee, and who set me on he set me on the straight and narrow. Let's just leave it at that. Louis, thank you. And of course, thank you to President Beskoff, who really promoted this and said, Carl, we should really do this. We should celebrate this. So I just want also to give it up for President Beskoff. Okay? Thank you.
So this forum today is on manufacturing in Oakland and the East Bay. And I think when people went to saw the tiny home presentation and ribbon cutting there, that's an example of our CTE departments. In our manufacturing departments in welding, electrical, other areas of college, machining, wood tech, carpentry, they all contribute to the tiny home situation, where we have students that we're training for good jobs, high-paying jobs, secure jobs, and also that are trained to solve some of the problems that our communities are facing, with housing shortages, global warming, new technology, and that's what our community college career technical education systems do. So that's enough plug from me. We're going to get to our questions. One person from each organization respond. And our first question is, can you briefly describe what your company does and your role with the company?
I'll go ahead and start. I'm not actually with the company. I'm with a couple of organizations. First off, my day job is I'm the regional director for manufacturing for the Bay Area community colleges. And I represent the programs of the 28 community colleges in the Bay Area that deal with manufacturing, from machining, welding, electronic tech, industrial maintenance, CAD, etc. And so my role here is to kind of connect our community colleges with industry, with K-12, so that we create strong career pathways for students to go into those jobs, and we help our local employers find the jobs, find the employees that they need to succeed in the Bay Area. And as aligned with that, I'm on the Association of Manufacturers Bay Area, which is the trade association of manufacturers who get together to kind of talk about manufacturing issues. Thanks.
Eric, you can go ahead and introduce yourself.
Oh, sure. Yeah, so Eric Smartfield with the Business Development Division of the City of Oakland. And so we are doing what we can to make sure that our businesses have what they need to operate and succeed. And we also have our Workforce Development Board, make sure that we can make connections with our employers and our Oakland residents.
Let's see if this works. My name is Dan Francis. I'm with Crash Systems. We are a small, high-tech, I suppose, company. We're vertically integrated. We go all the way from materials, so we make electronic materials. We build that all the way into satellite radios. And my role is the VP of materials, so I've been doing the development of the materials themselves that are at the base of this of our company.
My name is Phil Lofkamp with Dairy Chocolate. Most people know who it is, but it's various chocolate products, mainly known for squares. My role at Dairy is the maintenance and system senior supervisor. maintenance and reliability systems, rather. So a lot of what I do is spare parts processes, general process improvement, planned work scheduling, CMMS system administration, really anything that supports our maintenance technicians to go out and execute their work properly.
Cool. Hi, my name's Eric. This is Malika. We work for Penumbra. So Penumbra is a Class 3 medical device manufacturer. We design, develop, manufacture, and distribute medical devices worldwide. Our products are focused into areas in embolization treatment, so embolization coils for aneurysms, and then we also do stroke treatment, so catheters that go up into the brain and the rest of the body to remove clot. So, you know, this whole saving lives conversation is big for us. Malika is overseeing the manufacturing operations training team, and so you know, we talk about like learning needs, identifying skill gaps, and delivering training for production employees, and with a recent expansion of scope to the entire company, which is why I'm here. And so I'm new to Malika's team, but my background is in manufacturing engineering and material science, and so I do a lot of manufacturing engineering support, led some advanced manufacturing teams, and now trying to bridge the gap for technical training at Penumbra.
Yes, my name is Larry Sage. I am a manufacturing superintendent at Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory. If you're not familiar with the national laboratories, we're part of the DOE complex. The tagline you said at Lawrence Livermore is we are science and technology in the nation's interests. My job, I manage the manufacturing section, so traditional manufacturing, some cutting edge manufacturing, anyone that works with their hands in manufacturing, inspectors, machinists, welders, sheet metal, plating, you name it.
Hi, my name is Greg Phillips. I'm the Director of Manufacturing for Tarani. We'll also have here tonight Ed Kutzler, who's Senior Director of Engineering for Tarani. For those of you who don't know Tarani, we're a flavor company. You might have seen us around cafes, maybe in your own home, hopefully. And we've been around since 1925, so as we like to say, we're a 98-year-old startup. And we're still innovative and creating new flavors for everyone to enjoy. So my role as Director of Manufacturing, we're right up the street in San Leandro. We've been over there for the last 3.5 years. And so I run the syrup making and packaging part of the business, and Ed runs the technical side of the business, including engineering.
Okay, thank you. So first of all, I'd like to thank everybody that came out to talk about the So up behind us in the main screen, we have a graph that shows the major manufacturing companies in states in the country. Ohio is number 3, Texas is number 2, and California is number 1 by a pretty significant margin. Most people, when they think of California, they don't think of manufacturing. But obviously with this chart, that's not true. So we're trying to talk about what we need to do and what our students and our community can look for in for manufacturing in the East Bay and in the Oakland area. So our first question for the companies really is, what trades and skill set is your company looking for, and what kind of demand you currently have and expect to have in the near future?
All right, slide. Yeah. So in terms of like trades, we right now, Tarani's gone through a lot of an incredible growth rate. You know, we've been experiencing hyper growth. So we're hiring in every area, but specifically in manufacturing. We need manufacturing labor on our shop floor lines. We always have openings there. We're actually thinking about additional shifts. And then on the technical side, I just hired 2 engineers who started last week. I'm looking for more engineering help in the area of like continuous improvement, mechanical engineering, chemical engineering. And then on the technical side, like from the maintenance side, we're looking for mechanical techs at the entry level. We're also looking at instrument and control technologists, which is really important because the equipment is getting more technological. We need to be able to program PLCs. We need to be able to troubleshoot electrical systems. So we have openings in those areas. And then we also have room for senior techs as well. So, feeder programs in the maintenance area and all that are like super important to companies like Toronto to find available help, and we're very interested in that. But we have, openings in quite a number of areas, that if you have like some technical skills and abilities, welding, 3D printing is becoming much more important in our operation. We saved about $300,000 in about the last year and a half just in 3D parts being made that we don't have to buy overseas. We can make them right here in our factory. So we've been able to create a lot of new areas that we didn't even think about before with our own labor force. And we're very big on taking and developing our workforce and moving them up, and then finding other opportunities for them as as their interests change or they want to look at different things. So we've been very good about that. We're a very people-focused organization. So anybody who's interested in the career in manufacturing or technology or maintenance, we're definitely very interested in talking to you. And I think we have a career path based on our growth that we'll see for some time here at San Leandro.
Laboratory is hiring across the site in all positions. I would encourage everyone to take a look at our hiring boards, quite honestly. More than I can speak to here, but what I will speak to is what I'm responsible for. We are struggling to find enough machinists, inspectors, mechanical technicians, electronic technicians. We see a lot of people coming through that are sort of operators, and we tend to be R&D, where you need to be able to think on your feet, run multiple types of equipment. That's getting harder and harder to find, in my opinion. So that. As far as our workload projections show us busy through 2030. Not to say we're not going to be busy after that. That's as far as the projections go right now. So we're continuing to hire.
I think you're going to hear a lot of the same things because we're all in manufacturing. So I'll just highlight maybe some of the areas, and then I'll have Eric speak to kind of specifically the engineering focus on technical training. Because we are healthcare and med device industry, so we're regulated again by the FDA, lots of other regulatory agencies, but biomedical engineering, manufacturing, electrical engineering, regulatory affairs, quality assurance, quality control, clinical research. We have research R&D teams, of course, manufacturing and production support all of operations within our group, supply chain management, that's material and sourcing material, sales, marketing, IT, moving more into automation for some of our processes. Although in our particular workforce, a lot of our work is done by hand, coil winding, distant pushers, gluing, different things like that that requires hand. And what I would say about manufacturing, especially for this audience, is that it is a profession that you can get into, as you said, with a high school diploma, a community college degree, and very quickly be making 6 figures without kind of in some areas a formal 4-year degree. Specialized certifications, we do training that would prepare you for working at any one of our industries. So we do bespoke training within, certifications within, as well as partnering with external agencies, schools, universities, partnerships, industry associations to pipeline talent for our workforce.
Yeah, and the engineering side is really supporting all of that. So anyone who's been around continuous improvement or manufacturing engineering support, same game, different industry, different company. So a lot of it is that critical thinking, problem-solving mindset. We are always, I don't think in the past 5 years we've had a time when we're not actively hiring any number of engineers, which I'm assuming we're all in the same boat here. So that's pretty normal for us, and something we're always looking to get the best talent wherever we can.
So one more thing. We also need game designers for our VR technology, for our immersive real healthcare products.
At Ghirardelli, we're looking for a lot of the same things. I think
over the last 5.5 years or so that I've been with the company, we've been continually hiring maintenance technicians, machine operators, supervisors. Really, we have openings across the business in any segment that you're interested in, but from an operations manufacturing perspective, the machine operators and maintenance technicians with the problem-solving skills, critical thinking, just being curious, wondering why is this working the way it does to try and get to the root of the problem. I think from a maintenance technician standpoint, that's where we're really especially always looking for talent because we need very specific skills. We need people who understand mechanical systems and troubleshoot what problem is happening with the equipment and get to the root cause and almost figure out how to prevent it from coming back. We need electricians who can work with the PLC and understand programming and understand the sensors and the other things that can go wrong. And we need machine operators who understand some of these technical aspects as well, so that they can help collaborate with the maintenance technicians.
Akash Systems, I think, is a little bit different than a lot of the companies that are here. I think all the other companies are fairly well known. So if I may introduce a little bit about what we do to then talk about what we need in terms of deployment. We are a diamond-based electronics company. When I say diamond, I mean something like this. So this is a piece of diamond here. And we build substrates that are made out of diamond, and we use those to build electronics. Same way that you build your computers, CPUs, you'll be building the electronics, but it's on a diamond base. And what we're trying to do is we're in Oakland, we're planning on building a factory that, again, starts with making materials and goes all the way to making radios. As a result of that, we need people to help us build electronics onto the diamond. So for that, we need technicians that can work in the clean room, that understand chemical processing, that can deal with chemical handling, that can also work with lithography tools. Once we move up the stream, we'll then go into areas such as we're trying to dice this into tiny pieces, and we have to go through packaging on those. So wafer bonding, die bonding, wire bonding, that sort of thing. Dicing of the diamond, which can only be done with the laser, so laser operation with the wafers. And as you move up, you need electronics. Also, at the same time, since you're building a factory, we'll need people that can actually work on the tool repair, the kind of stuff that, in terms of training, that if you learn how to work on automobiles, you learn how to work with electronics, mechanical systems, that's the sort of thing we'll need for tool operations. So we'll need from one end to the other as we're building out the factory.
Okay, so some of you touched on this, but always important to our students, it's not just the first job in. So what type of internal training do you provide for employees? Either apprenticeship, tuition reimbursement, that supports advancement opportunities in your company?
I guess we'll start from this end.
Sure,
back. So again, back with Akash Systems. Up till now, we haven't had, a lot of the stuff that we have done has been developed internally. And as we're a very small company, we largely have trained people, take people that have some background and do a lot of internal training. What we're hoping to do, as we're trying to hire a larger number of people, is to get this like Laney to actually start training in these areas. So the final training we'll do within the company, but again, the background, if you can get a broad background, that will help you both fit in quickly within the company and also move and grow within the company. So a broad background in a variety of different areas will give you the best chance to really both fit into the company and move on within the company.
For Geared Elliott, as far as tuition reimbursement programs, we have a pretty robust one. As long as whatever you're looking to learn is relevant to your work, we're happy to pay for it as well, of course, as long as you pass the class. Part of being short on people in manufacturing is you want to use the resources you have. So a lot of our supervisors, team leads, people in engineering, and even department managers, they've been promoted internally from the production floor. So there is a lot of room for advancement within our company, and we put a lot of resources into leadership trainings, technical trainings to help develop them.
I guess one thing that I'd add to that is we're trying to build the talent in-house, trying to create internship programs, collaboration, and build programs that help, obviously, with the skills that we need, but they're also very transferable to any organization that you go to. So making sure that we're training our employees on how to solve the problems on the mechanical systems, and really understanding what are the skill sets that we need here, and helping understand how they can transfer to other organizations as well if the opportunity that you're looking for within the company isn't there. But as Phil said, a lot of times we're promoting from the factory floor to a team lead position, from a team lead position to a supervisor. There's opportunity to move into QA and really any department that you're interested in, and there's opportunities to get the experience you need for those other departments within your role. We have a lot of cross-functional activity going on, so a lot of opportunity to train and learn, both about skills very relevant to your role as well as where you want to go next.
So at Lawrence Livermore, we do have a education assistance program, tuition reimbursement, whatever you want to call it. We also have a 4-year state certified apprenticeship program for machinists. We have been expanding it. We started out, it's been around since the 50s. It took a pause in the late 90s. We started back up in early 2000s, started with 2 apprentices per year. In 2016, we expanded to 4 apprentices per year, so it's a 4-year program, 4 apprentices. We have 16 apprentices at any given time. We're looking to expand it again because what we get out of it is exactly the machinists we're looking for. We can train them in the exact skill sets we're looking for, or what they excel in typically. So we are looking to expand that. We do also offer sort of training on site for different things like Master CAM, CAD program, geometric dimensioning and tolerancing, and Excel, whatever you can think of. So a lot of opportunity there as well.
So in our maintenance department, specifically, we've really done a lot to really develop talent because it's been really hard to go out in the industry and find the people that we need. And so we've developed one individual to be an instrument control tech who just had general electrical skills. We put him to school, and they got through that program, and it's really helped us a lot to develop that skill set. And then we took some other individuals who had no maintenance background whatsoever and had them in an apprentice program where they've been shadowing our maintenance techs and then building up their own skills, and we give them technical training where we need them. So we're trying to build a lot of these things in-house because we can't find the labor in the market. Or the labor's there, but they are very expensive, and so it doesn't really meet our pay guidelines, even though we have a great pay program at Toronto. So we're going out in the industry to find these people, but we're also developing people from parts of our shop floor, if they're interested in maintenance, as well as people in the department who want additional skills. Even on the engineering side, we have additional courses to give them extra skills, and we pay for all of that as well if they want to go back to school. But any specific skill they might need in programming or any technical area they want to take a class, we definitely look at that as well. So we're very interested in developing our workforce because you may not be able to find them, as everybody here is kind of attesting to. So anyway, we're looking at that because I think growing our workforce and making them smarter and better is going to definitely help us. So
yeah, and what everybody already said, double down on that. But we have skill gaps that we're trying to close as well. Like if you look at that graph, it's pretty amazing. But it also, the higher that hockey stick goes up, the more the gap increases. So you have to get really scrappy and creative. And so we've done that. Extending out to Bay Area, just recently we've joined AM Bay Area and connected with volunteers volunteer match to get into the high schools and start talking into high schools about entry into manufacturing. I'll be going next month to talk to a local high school about that. And you really have to be scrappy about how you think about upskilling our teams. I love what you were saying from Hanuma about the diversity of your workforce, and you really have to think about that. We have teams from over 30 countries represented, and that's diversity of culture, but it's also diversity of thinking that really makes you stronger, and it really pulls everybody together. So you have to think about how you upskill people. You know, you mentioned like training documents, something as basic as that, but everybody's also bringing their own unique skill sets to the table. And we've created internal training programs that allow us to upskill people. And we've had to also bring from the outside. We just hired some engineers this week. But we've also had some real success stories where we've had some internal technical people go and get their accreditation for programming and certification there. And we do offer reimbursement for that. So I think the real thing is you have to be ready to be agile and scrappy, and try all of those things, not just stay in one lane and we're just going to do it this one way. You have to really be diverse in your thinking.
Okay, so we clearly have great companies here. We have high demand for employees, and we have great opportunity for advancement at these companies. From the student perspective, that's great. From the company perspective, I'm going to now ask, what could Laney and other community colleges do to prepare our students for your employee needs?
Well, tonight's a good start. I think just all of us gathering together and networking and understanding what the issues are out there, where the gaps are, how we can upskill people, and just in this room there's a lot of diversity of thought and coming from different backgrounds, and we can learn from that. So I'd say this is a great venue. I love what Laney's built here and the tiny house, and we're going to see the tour later of the programs here. So I'd love to be able to connect more with the programs here. So I would say get connected with other companies, get connected with organizations like AM Bay Area and others, and just get to know what's going on out there and be ready to be scrappy and think innovative about how you recruit.
Well, I'd be really interested in understanding, in the maintenance program, what you have, what technical skills you're providing, because we'd be very interested in that. People have any kind of mechanical aptitude, electrical aptitude, that type of thing, with some, other technical skills in the mechanical area, as well as instrument and control technology. Very critical. It's going to be only growing. I think that's going to be a huge opportunity. So if you can provide education in those areas, I think that, everybody in this panel here would be interested in those individuals, not only just for the maintenance department, but also for their operating floor, as well as other opportunities that might come up. I think there's a shortage in that area, and it's a gap that needs to be filled, because it's either you have engineers that are not looking for that, or we have people that are are at a base level that don't have those skills, and so we have this middle level, which I think there's just tons of opportunity there in our operations to make that happen. So I think there's a good future for people in that area, and I think Laney would be ideally suited to provide those skills. So we'd be very interested in our organization for that.
So I'll sort of copy what he said about the networking, getting out there, knowing what's out there, what's available, the different companies sitting at this table right now. There's different aspects to each one of those. The other thing that keeps coming up to me is the critical thinking piece versus following a procedure. Why am I doing this step? And I'll point to, I do it all the time. I Google how to fix something, and reading the directions on how to fix it, thinking, why am I taking this step? And I'm sure Laney's already doing this, but people need to think deeper than just following those procedures. So I highly encourage that, I guess, is my comment.
But I will say that as a former educator and also now in private industry, I think some of the things that we're already doing, like things like this, but I think industry partnerships, having us come to speak to students in their classes to ask real world questions, kind of what are the problems that we're facing, what business challenges that we're trying to solve, to highlight that critical thinking. A lot of times technology is faster than we can think and we can do. So when you're thinking about these kinds of skill sets where automation can come in and replace human ingenuity and human critical thinking skills, we don't want to rely on artificial intelligence or machines to be able to ask questions like, why are we doing something like that? So I will say that's important. Inclusion of sustainability practices, because a lot of times when we think about manufacturing, we don't think about the impact of manufacturing on the environment or on waste, reusable materials, things like that. Specialized programs, a lot of times colleges, universities, schools are built in an industrial format where you're tracked. You take this program, this major, this focus, but it doesn't allow you for the breadth. You have depth, but it doesn't allow you for the breadth to be able to move from the production floor to QA, QC, to be a machinist or an inspector. So thinking about ways that we can integrate programs that will allow people to have these transferable skills, whether they're working in food service or healthcare or science labs. We want to think that way and shape the next generation of workers and builders and things like that. So just kind of, I think, more partnership and communication, continuing education opportunities, and technology integration, making sure that the equipment that they're using in the classroom mirrors or even is better than the equipment that you would have on a production floor.
I would say a lot of the same themes. In addition, building on the concept of kind of the cross-functional aspect is making sure that we're understanding what are the needs from, if I'm a maintenance technician, what are the needs from the production department for me to get this back up and running? How can I prioritize my time to make sure that we don't have this issue again, but still get the equipment running or prevent the long-term effects? I put a Band-Aid on it for now, but how do I make sure we take the right steps to get the long-term solution in place? And how do I prioritize and balance my time there, in addition to having all of the technical skills that's needed, in addition to having the critical thinking skills that are needed, but understanding the business aspect of it as well. How do I take the priorities from others and use that to manage my time effectively?
I like a lot of the things that were said. In terms of what should you be looking at in terms of the training for Laney, I think I'll repeat that a little bit of a broad background, trying to understand a wide variety of different areas, not just knowing how to do one specific thing, but knowing how to do a variety of different things. You can never get a training that's specific that works exactly for what you're going to be doing within the company. So getting a broad background such that you actually understand everything that's happening, you can understand from various different perspectives all the things that are happening within what you're actually working on. And then within the company, you can specialize in a particular area. But even if you specialize in a particular area, you're not going to stay in that area for your entire career. You're going to continue to move. So in your training, if your training is broad, that gives you flexibility within the company and makes you more valuable for that company. And it's also better for your own career if you learn how to do a variety of different things. Also, I think just in terms of satisfaction, understanding the same thing, that what's happening, why it's happening, and understanding the background for something is incredibly useful. So a broad mechanical, electrical, chemical, all the different areas that you might work on. Units you're also working in administration. You're going to have Excel skills and other skills, such that you can actually work on a variety of different things.
So maybe Eric and Mark, you can contribute on this area too, since you deal with a lot of manufacturers.
In terms of the training of what we need?
Just in terms of the type of skills that people should have and the type of things you're looking for in placing people in these companies.
I would probably have to defer in some cases my workforce development colleagues here who have much more experience in that part. We're always trying to focus on specific skills that are in demand at the time, and we're looking for, you know, support and information from our employers to inform that. Yeah, just being able to respond to what the demand is. But I think Mark has some better.
Here's what I would suggest. The best skill that you can have is to like what you do. So if you find that you like machining or welding or electronics, figure out what it is that you like to do. Because what I have found that those people who like what they do find passion in their jobs working for these companies in that job and do well at it. So figure out what you like to do. That involves you taking different classes to kind of to hone in on that. But figure out what that skill is that you like to do, and you will get better at it.
And I would argue probably everybody at this table loves what they're doing now, or they would be successful and be willing to come out here and try and draw people into what they're doing now. Is that not true?
It's true, but I would add that you don't have to love it forever. The idea is curiosity. I think if you look at all of our backgrounds, I started as a high school teacher in Oakland at 19 and went all through different careers, public and private industries. The good news is that understanding transferable skills, and where employment, you know you need to be employed, you know you need to eat and live indoors if you can help it. The reality of it is be curious. Be curious and be diligent. I would say 3 things I tell people: experience, education, and exposure. I don't know how many people in this room knew that we were all here in the Bay Area prior to now, but household names are being built in your backyard. So informational interviews, visit our facilities, ask for tours, ask questions. What is an maintenance technician, a material handler? What is Kanban? What is lean? What are these kinds of things that will allow you to go from one space to another? So you don't have to love it forever, but you can be curious and you can try different things, and this is just a world of opportunities, that you can go through. So I would say that.